Imagine a gold mine so rich, so vast, it promised to rewrite the rules of global wealth. Investors poured billions into it. Dreams of unimaginable riches danced in their heads. Then, the chief geologist, the man at the heart of the discovery, plunged to his death from a helicopter, his body found with hands and feet missing. Days later, the truth emerged. The mine was a phantom. The gold a lie. This is the story of Bre-X Minerals, a Canadian company that pulled off one of the most audacious frauds in history, costing ordinary people their life savings and leaving a trail of questions that linger to this day. Our story begins in 1989 with David Walsh, a charismatic entrepreneur, founding Bre-X Minerals Limited, a small Canadian junior mining company. Junior mining companies are like prospectors in the digital age. They search for potential mineral deposits, hoping to strike it rich and then sell their claims to a larger, established company. Walsh had big dreams, but for years, Bre-X struggled. Its fortunes changed in 1993 when they acquired property near the Busong River in a remote part of East Kalimantan, Indonesia. This wasn't just any jungle. It was Borneo, a place steeped in tales of hidden treasures. Walsh hired John Felderhoff as vice president of exploration and, crucially, Michael de Guzman, a Filipino geologist with a knack for identifying promising sites, to lead the on-site work. De Guzman was about to become the architect of a lie that would shake the financial world to its core. In 1994, the first drill results from Busong were encouraging. But what happened next was beyond encouraging. It was sensational. Beginning in October 1995, Bre-X announced gold discoveries of an unprecedented scale. Geologists claimed the Busong site held between 30 million and a staggering 200 million ounces of gold, potentially the largest gold deposit ever found. The market went wild. Investors, from seasoned professionals to everyday people like a schoolteacher nearing retirement, flocked to Bre-X stock. Its price, which started at mere pennies, soared. By May 1996, Bre-X shares peaked at an astonishing 286 Canadian dollars and 50 cents per share, making the company's market capitalization explode to over 6 billion Canadian dollars. Analysts, including giants like Lehman Brothers, issued strong buy recommendations. Everyone wanted a piece of the gold discovery of the century. But beneath the glittering surface, a dark secret was being meticulously crafted. How do you create a phantom mine? With one of the oldest tricks in the book, salting. Michael de Guzman, the chief geologist, was the mastermind. The process was chillingly simple, yet devastatingly effective. When core samples were drilled from the ground, they were supposed to be sent to independent labs for assaying to test for gold content. But de Guzman and his team intercepted these samples. They secretly introduced gold from external sources. Initially, it's believed de Guzman filed gold from his own wedding ring into the samples. Later, as the scale of the deception grew, they allegedly purchased canned gold from local rivers, grinding it down and carefully mixing it into the core samples. Imagine a tiny amount of real gold, costing perhaps $61,000 in total, was used to create the illusion of billions. When these salted samples reached the labs, they showed artificially high gold concentrations, confirming the discovery. Bre-X then announced these impressive but fraudulent results to the world, fueling the frenzy and sending the stock ever higher. It was a carefully orchestrated performance designed to keep the lie alive. Even in a meticulously crafted fraud, cracks inevitably appear. For Bre-X, the first subtle warning signs began to emerge. Independent auditors, reviewing the samples, noted unusual characteristics. Some of the gold flakes appeared rounded, not jagged, suggesting they hadn't formed naturally within the rock. De Guzman, ever resourceful, concocted a bizarre explanation, claiming the gold had been formed in volcanic pools. It was strange, but in the euphoria, many chose to believe him. Then, in January 1997, a fire reportedly destroyed many of the sample records at the Busong site, a convenient, if suspicious, turn of events. Major players like Placer Dome, a respected mining giant, even offered to buy Bre-X. But after conducting their own initial due diligence, they mysteriously withdrew their offer. The red flags were there, but the allure of the biggest gold discovery in history was too strong for most to see past the shimmering illusion. The house of cards began to tumble when Bre-X was forced into a joint venture deal in February 1997. The Indonesian government mandated that Bre-X, along with Freeport-McMoRan, a massive American mining company, would share ownership. This meant Freeport-McMoRan, with its vast resources and reputation, would conduct its own independent due diligence. They began drilling new twin holes, right next to Bre-X's supposed gold-rich sites. The stakes were impossibly high. Then, on March 19, 1997, the story took a dark and mysterious turn. Michael de Guzman, the man who knew where all the gold supposedly was, boarded a helicopter for an inspection. He never made it back. His body was later found on the ground, having fallen from the aircraft. Officially ruled a suicide, his death was shrouded in suspicion. Reports of missing hands and feet. Claims he was carrying large duffel bags of cash and a mysterious $25,000 payment to his widow from Brazil. Just days later, on March 26, 1997, Freeport-McMoRan delivered its devastating verdict. Their independent audit found only insignificant amounts of gold in the Busong mine. The gold was gone. It had never been there. The revelation was a financial earthquake. On May 4, 1997, independent firm Strathcona Minerals confirmed the samples were falsified by salting. 3 days later, Bre-X shares, once valued at hundreds of dollars, plunged to a mere 6 cents each. The company filed for bankruptcy protection just 2 days after that. The human cost was catastrophic. An estimated 40,000 investors were defrauded, losing an astounding $3 billion. Families saw their life savings vanish overnight. Pension funds and mutual funds, trusted with the retirement dreams of ordinary workers, suffered heavy losses. The schoolteacher who invested their pension, dreams shattered. There were heartbreaking reports of suicides directly linked to the Bre-X collapse. David Walsh, the founder, died of a brain aneurysm in June 1998, just over a year after the fraud was exposed. John Felderhoff, the VP of Exploration, was acquitted of all charges in 2007, and despite the massive scale of the fraud, no one was ever criminally convicted. The local Dayak communities in Busong, who had been promised economic development, were left with broken hopes and a scarred landscape. The Canadian financial markets suffered a massive blow to confidence, and the very integrity of the mining industry was questioned. The Bre-X scandal stands as a stark reminder of the intoxicating power of greed and the fragility of trust. While no one was ever criminally convicted for this colossal fraud, its legacy is undeniable. In 2001, Canada introduced National Instrument 43 to 101, a crucial regulation mandating standardized disclosure and independent verification of mineral resource estimates, a direct response to Bre-X. It was a step towards preventing such a deception from ever happening again. But the questions linger. Was de Guzman's death truly a suicide, or was he silenced? How could so many, from individual investors to seasoned analysts, be so thoroughly duped? The story of Bre-X Minerals is a chilling tale of a phantom mine, a golden lie, and the human cost of believing in something that was too good to be true. And it serves as a powerful warning. In the pursuit of immense wealth, some will stop at nothing, leaving behind a trail of devastation and unanswered mysteries.